How's it going, Amazing Blue fans? The future started yesterday. So we finally got our wish yesterday against Rutgers. Peters got in the game and he didn't let us down for the most part. So I'm going to get into it. As always, like, share, subscribe, and let's just get into what happened yesterday for the most part. So Michigan played Rutgers, who is not that talented. They have trouble even scoring against the top four of the Big Ten, top 4 or 5 teams in the Big Ten. But we came out stagnant again, and we finally got a scoring drive, and Rutgers comes back down and scores. Same type of play that Saquon Barkley took. It's a kind of a wildcat type formation, and the guy just took it to the house. But after that, once Peters got put in the game was kind of a wrap from then on. Michigan just took control, and it was good to see the offensive line and everybody else kind of step their game up once they saw him come in the game, because it just makes it that much easier when you got a young guy coming in and everything. And hopefully they just keep going and progressing, because the O-line had probably its best game in a long time, maybe in the season, because we ran for like 300 yards. My boy Higdon went for like 140, I want to say, and Ty Isaac had like 102. So we had 200-yard backs. But yesterday was all about Peters getting in, and it's just good to see a quarterback that's confident, trust his linemen. Because O'Korn, he was good the first game, and then game by game, his confidence just kind of wavered. I don't know if it was the play calling or what, but his confidence went down. And when we played Michigan State, after that, his confidence was gone. Like there was no point in keep starting him, because he's a senior, so he's not going to be on the team next year. So there's no point in keep playing him. So I was glad to see that we got the young guys in. We got Kareem Walker in, and we got Peters in. It's time to see what these dudes can do. The season's a wash. We're not going to get in the playoff. We'll get a decent bowl game, but who cares? Because we're not in the playoff. We want to win championships, Big Ten championship, national championship, or at least make the playoff to progress. So if we're not going to get in the playoff, there's no point of playing somebody that's not going to be on the team next year. Get these young dudes in there, see what they've got, and get them ready for next year. Because next year, our defense is going to be unbelievable next year. So we need to get the offense on the same page like our defense is, because our defense is young right now, and they make mistakes, like maybe they over pursue sometimes. That's really the only thing they do just bad, is they over pursue. So another year in the system, they're going to get bigger, faster, stronger, and with more depth. They should have more depth next year. So the defense is going to be lights out. So we need to get, while we have a defense that's going to be good and great, we need to get our offense on the same track. Because if we had a defense or offense this year, there's no telling where our team could go. But our offense is just horrible. And it looks like it's... But I was saying, from what I was saying before, early in the year, offensive play calling, you can't call plays for someone that can't execute the plays. Football is about executing. I don't care if you got one play, but if you know how to execute that play perfectly every time, sometimes you can run the same play over and over again and just beat teams, because they can't stop the play because you know how to execute it so good. But so if you got a quarterback that can't execute plays, can't make the throws, your play calling is cut in half. But my only problem with that was, okay, there's plays you can't execute, but there are plays that almost anyone can execute, and mismatches that you can go at. So I was glad to see they exploited a couple mismatches they had. They finally got Chris Evans on a linebacker, got him on a wheel route, touchdown. Like that was my only problem. That's my problem with the play calling. No matter who you have at quarterback, there's always mismatches, and you just need to go at them. So we got to step in the right place with the mismatches. But it's like you should have been doing this all season. Like when you don't have dudes that are just flat out studs that are studs at their position, and especially at wide out right now because we have young wide receivers, you need to exploit mismatches. If you've got a 6'4" receiver like we do in ways, get him in the game and throw something up to him. Get him on single coverage. If they have a short corner, you go at him. If you got a fast running back, you get him on a linebacker and you go at it. Like, it's not that hard to me, but let's not even talk about it. Hopefully they just keep expanding on going at mismatches. Like, it should be simple. But there's not too much to say. We got to take what we saw from Peters with a grain of salt because we were playing Rutgers. And Rutgers has been horrible for I don't know how long. Since they've been, almost pretty much since they've come to the Big Ten, they've been horrible. So we have to take what we saw with a grain of salt. And we'll see how he plays against better competition. Because it's hard to grade a player when they're playing bad competition or lackluster competition. You can't take much out of it. But I was happy to see that offensive line and get going in pass blocking and run blocking. But the offensive line has been improving. But when you have O'Corn back there and he goes through one read and then he wants to run out of the pocket, you can't really evaluate how good the blocking is because he's running out the pocket and it makes the pass blocking break down. So I'm just glad to see we have a quarterback in there so you can actually see how good this offensive line and everything else is because everything kind of goes on you doing what you're supposed to do. So if the quarterback's not sitting in the pocket going through his reads, you can't really tell who's doing their job right and everything. But besides that, I was happy from what I saw. Peters played good, and I'm just hoping we can just keep expanding on him. This week he should get first team reps, so he should have more plays he can run and everything like that, and get more accustomed to playing with these wide receivers, the starting team. Another thing I would like to say is the running backs. The running back coaches have to get these dudes on the same page. Well, it's not even the same page. It's just blocking. Like, you have to come up with that fire and hit those dudes, those linebackers and DNs when you're pass blocking. Like, you have to come up and hit them. Like, you can't be soft and come up or just try to cut them because dudes are too athletic now. They'll jump over you like right in stride, and then you don't even slow them down. But I talked about that in another video, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. It's just expanding. Like, this year, the rest of this year, we need to be like almost Penn State did last year. They lost, we blew them out, and then they just kind of went on a roll, and it carried over into this season. So I'd like to see us do the same thing. We lost those games. Now, whether or not we lose to Wisconsin or Ohio State, it's just about getting better every week. And even if we lose, go down fighting. Don't get blew out. Like, go down fighting. Like, expanding on what we're trying to do so it carries over in the next season. Because next season, if the offense gets Peters, this is the problem that I hate about next year. Wilton Speight will be back healthy. And he knows the offense because he's been in it for so long. He knows the offense, and Harbaugh probably has a lot of faith in Wilton Speight. So if Peters doesn't come out and just play lights out, pretty much starting to get the offense and just executing it how he's supposed to and the touch on his balls, it's gonna be whose starting job is this? when spring game and all that, we can start next season. So I'm hoping he just plays well, so we can just hand it over to him. Because I have no faith in Wilton Speight, like O'Corn after he showed game after game. Like, it doesn't matter to me, quarterback. I'll pull him. It's college. It's not like the pros where there's such a big drop off. College, these dudes, Michigan has top recruits. The recruits are high recruits, so I just want to see him. If somebody's not playing well, put the next guy in and let's see what they've got. Because there's just too much on stake to lose a game because of bad quarterback play. Because who knows? He could have put Peters in the Michigan State game, and we might have pulled that out because we barely lost that game. Maybe even the Penn State game if he did it early. Who knows? Because when you've got a guy actually sitting in the pocket, progressing through his reads and seeing what he has, you never know what's going to happen. Because our defense just needs to get off the field sometime so they can rest up. But that's all I pretty much wanted to say. I got one more thing. One more thing I wanted to say about recruiting. With recruiting, I want to see. I don't care about getting all 5-star recruits and all that. With recruiting, I just want to see them start getting dudes. Maybe it's harder because it's Michigan and it's hard. It's kind of hard to get into Michigan. But I just want to see dudes that are big, fast, and strong. Like, you can teach a player. You can teach and coach a player how to be in position and all that stuff. Like, you can coach them up on that. But I want to see dudes with some stuff you can't teach. You can't teach a dude to be big. You can't teach a dude to be fast. You can't teach a dude to be... Well, you can work on your strength, but I want to see dudes that are strong, big, and fast. Like, those are two things you really just can't teach. You can't teach that. So I want to see that speed level just keep improving. Like, keep getting dudes that are just big and fast, and you can coach them up on everything else. Because I've seen Michigan State's done it plenty of years. They've won the Big Ten over these last 5-6 years with 3-star recruits. And most of them are from Michigan. So there was years back where I've looked at Michigan State's team and I've been like, those are players we should have. But that all depends on maybe if they couldn't get into Michigan. It's easier to get into Michigan State, but I've seen dudes that are just big and fast. Like, you can't teach that. You can't teach a dude to be 6'2", 6'3", and run a 4.4 at safety. Or the same thing at linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Get some big, fast dudes, like, all the way around. So that it's just, once you have talent like that, you can overwhelm dudes just because it's just, you got monsters on the field. So I want to see some bigger and faster recruits, like, all together, because it just it'll take the program up a notch when you get dudes like that. So that's all I wanted to say. As always, like, share, subscribe to my page, and we're just gonna keep pushing forward for the future. Future started yesterday because Peters is the future. So I want to see him start and get his lumps, whether he plays good or bad. Let him get his lumps in this year. So next year it's a growing. It's just expanding on what he knows and what he's seen already. Because I've seen too many freshmen and redshirt freshman QBs come in and play well and have no problem. So I just want to see the same thing out of him. So as always, like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue. Go blue.